Sorry, you're gonna start again. I clapped and I went like this, and I didn't know you were coming.
I thought that you clapped and you went like. Hey everyone, welcome to North of the Castle podcast. My name's Ambrose. I'm joined today by
Ruben!
And Dora.
And we want to welcome you back. And today we're going to be talking about a very awesome topic. A topic of what is the best Disney park ride throughout all the parks. Well, all the ones we've been to.
Yeah.
We're not gonna really rank, the best ones. We're just gonna talk about not the ones of all time, but we're gonna talk about the ones that we personally enjoy the most.
Yeah, I'm so excited. This is a topic I want to talk about. So let's go.
Yeah. Well, do you want to start? You started last time.
Sure.
Okay.
So Disney rides. Okay, so let me just start with this. I'm not a big ride person, but when I went to Disney for the first time, I sort of became a ride person at Disney specifically, only because I find that their rides are not that crazy. Like, I haven't experienced a ride yet at Disney World specifically, that I'm like, oh, I have neck pain after that one, or that one really whipped me around. A lot of them a lot more gentle, and yet somehow I think also have like a thrilly aspect to it. So I actually, as a person who's not a huge ride person, I actually enjoyed the rides at Disney. And so if this is my list of these are the rides I must do when I go to Disney World, like specifically Disney World, because I haven't been to Disneyland or like Tokyo Disneyland or Tokyo Disney Sea or any of the others. And so for me, are we starting with number one?
Yeah, give us your number.
All right,
one.
here it is. The best ride in all of Walt Disney World, Orlando, Florida, in all the four parks, in my opinion, is Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. That is my number one ride when you look at creativity, when you look at the thrill factor, when you look at the technology in the ride and the kind of ride it is, and then just all of the storytelling of the moment you enter the ride through like what you're actually doing. Like, why are you on the ride? It's not just, hey, get on this roller coaster. It's like, there's a reason why we're on this ride.
Yeah.
For me, that wins hands down. And it makes sense. There's only a few rides in all of Walt Disney World that you have to book in this like weird, unique way. With like time slots or whatever.
The virtual queue?
The virtual queue, thank you, yeah. And Guardians of the Galaxy is one of the, I think, 2 or 3 that you have to do that for.
Not anymore.
Not anymore? What?
Yeah, by the end of this month, they're changing that actually. So Guardians of the Galaxy is no longer a virtual queue line. Either you buy the lightning lane, the individual lightning lane, or you wait in a standby queue.
Wow.
But those are gonna be like massive lines.
Damn. Yeah. So anyhow, that's my number one ride. The one that Dora and I that we look forward to going whenever we go to Walt Disney World. So that's me at number one.
Yeah, I mean, Guardians is one of the best rides in terms of the technology. Like, it's so smooth. It's so smooth. It's so much fun. The way that like because of the darkness, you can't really see exactly like where the track's going and what you're going to be doing. And so there's it's not really that level of, when you go on a roller coaster and you have that anticipation of like, oh, I know this is about to be a big drop. You don't have that. You just drop and then you're like, whoa, like I can't believe that just happened. So
it's also like if you have you been on the ride before, Ambrose?
Or which one? The
Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. So
No,
so this ride basically is like a 2-person seated a coaster. I think it has like 5 like pairs all in one row, and the seats are not just sit and kind of like strapped in, and then you kind of just like you're looking straight ahead going through the roller coaster. It actually swivels as well. Okay. So you're going on the ride, it actually turns you and swivels you, which is cool because then they have massive screens with all of these like graphics and the storytelling and the visuals. And then on top of that, it's a dark ride.
yeah.
And so you're being dropped, you're going through twists and turns and everything. Somehow they fit it in Epcot in like this space, but it's a dark ride. And so the lights, and then the darkness with the aspect of you moving that fast, I think overall it makes you feel like it's a little bit more of a thrill ride than say if it was just purely in daylight or outside or something. So yeah, that's mine, number one.
Yeah.
Hands
Is it
down.
similar to the have you ever been to Canada's Wonderland? It's like the Guardian ride inside the mountain where you're shooting stuff. Have you been
Right.
to that one?
No, I haven't.
no.
I think I've seen it, and I think like inside the mountain aspect, it's kind of like that. It's like a dark ride. Like when you're in,
Okay.
like yeah, but with Guardians, it doesn't have the aspect of where there's external, where it's outside the darkness, and then inside, it's
Okay.
entirely inside.
Yeah.
You hop on, you go inside, you're inside the entire time, then you exit, you're still inside, and then you just gotta walk out of the building.
Yeah. The pre-show's also really cool for that one.
Yeah.
Just everything about it from start to finish. It's hands down, it's my favorite ride. I did not select that one, but hands down,
Why not?
it's my favorite. Because I knew you were going to say it. You've said it on the last 3 episodes or whatever. That
I
you're
mean,
like,
is this your top list then? Really?
No, because I looked at it differently. So, just for the record, this ride, because it has a bit of a thrill aspect, has a 42-inch height limit. So, it's not like a kid-friendly ride.
Unless you got a tall kid. I mean, you know.
Yeah. So, I looked at it as like similar to what you said, rides that you must do. But for me, the nostalgia factor was a part of it. So, my number one that I picked was Pirates of the Caribbean.
Wow.
Okay.
Because I think that's a ride, like every single time we're in Magic Kingdom, we have to go on it.
Yeah.
And we will sometimes do multiple Magic Kingdom days on a trip, but it doesn't matter. Like that's still the ride that gets repeated. We'll do it both times because just the aspect of like the nostalgia for me having ridden it as a kid, then also like they've then attached some of the IP to it from the movie. So like they put Jack Sparrow in, and like I loved the movies as well.
Yeah.
There's also like that ride is so iconic Disney. It's like when I think of Disney World, it's like the same way that when you think of Disney, you think of the castle. It's like I think of Pirates of the Caribbean. That's one of the rides that just comes to mind immediately.
Yeah.
And it's a longer ride. It doesn't have like massive lines. Like it can get up there, but I think the longest I've ever
Still-
seen it is like 45 minutes, which is not that long. It's usually like under 30.
Yeah, it's in comparison to all of the best rides, most popular rides in all of Disney, Pirates is nothing.
Yeah.
And the nice thing actually is that the line is actually inside, and so you're not in the Florida heat. And then because it's a ride that's on water, you get like a bit of a gentle breeze even while you're inside, and so
It's actually underground.
right.
So you're
right,
going like you enter like a cave or whatever, and then like you go underground. So it's really cool in there, which is really nice as well. And there's a Pirates of the Caribbean smell that I love.
So for Florida, is it the same as California where you can see the restaurant as well, or?
No, you can't.
Okay.
And the Pirates ride at like Disneyland is longer because that was like the original, like the iconic ride. The one at Disney World is shorter. So, but still, like they're very similar and they have some of those similar scenes. It's just a little bit shorter, and no, you can't see the restaurant.
Oh, you guys are going to enjoy if you ever go to China, like for Disney there, you're going to enjoy the Pirates of the Caribbean there because there's
Why?
a whole like I've never been, but I've watched an insane amount of videos. There's a whole part where like you have the whole like pirates battleship, and it's like ships exploding in front of you, but they use more screens in that one. There's like a lot more
Yeah.
screen. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that one. It's like larger than life sets, and like
Wow.
it's really like immersive.
This is the one in Beijing.
No, Shanghai.
Shanghai. Beijing is Universal.
Okay.
Okay,
That's
so
cool.
that would be my number one.
Honestly, like nostalgia fact, that one more than like Peter Pan.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
Like
right.
Peter Pan is like, it's nice, it's fun, but like when that line gets up there, I'm like, let's skip it.
Yeah, Peter Pan. Surprisingly, Peter Pan's line will get longer than Pirates of the Caribbean for sure.
Okay, Ambrose, your turn.
For me, I don't think I have favorite, but I'm gonna choose like. Are we only sticking to rides or experiences as well?
Rides. Let's do rides.
Okay,
Because
we'll do
experience is
rides.
another
Experience
video.
That's true. That's true.
I need to rethink my whole list if we're doing experiences.
Oh, sure, you're right. I think for me, one that I really, really enjoy. I'm not gonna do favorites because I already talked about it last time. It being, I think it was the Rise of the Resistance. But I think the which one is? Let me just sorry. Oh, it's Radiator Springs Racers, the Cars ride. I think that's a phenomenal ride because it does what basically a lot of the dark rides of old school Disney films does. It takes you through the whole story. You kind of go through like you're there, you get your tires changed, all these different things, and then you race and you go through the whole and it's really good because it's not. I don't know. I feel like the older rides, some of them are a bit slower, and then they're also a bit dated, and they're also a bit like, oh, I know this, and like there's nothing kind of new to it. Whereas the Radiator Springs Racer, like it kind of gives you like this whole new idea, like you're one of the cars, you're there too, kind of thing. It puts you in the story versus, oh, there's Snow White, or there's that very scary scene where the queen turns into the evil witch, right?
Wow.
And it's like I think that's a really good ride. Also, it's once again larger than life. My wife, Viv, she got scared by the size of the cars. Like the other day, we went to the auto show downtown Toronto, and she was like, "Those cars are huge." And she's like, "That's exactly what the cars in the cars ride look like." And I'm like, "Oh, never noticed." Like, especially when you have the like, I don't know, the bull or whatever. I forgot the exact name of the car, but yeah.
I don't know.
But like the scene where there's that giant bull that chases them through the fields.
Okay.
You guys have no idea what I'm
No, I have
talking
no
about.
idea.
Okay, no worries.
She's never watched Cars. I watched it like twice.
And he has a bad memory. You're asking the wrong people.
I'm kidding. But yeah, no, I think that's a great ride. I think it really immerses you in the whole, and then just the use of like all the technology. It's phenomenal. It's like so good. Yeah. So I think that for me, it's the best one. Not to mention it's in one of the best.
Is it? Is it like a roller coaster, like a thrill almost?
It's a bit of both because you start out like kind of like a dark ride, almost like you go slowly through stuff, and then near the end you have this big like racing part of the ride. Yeah,
That's cool.
It's pretty good.
So it's similar to, from what I understand, it's similar to Test Track in Epcot. It's the same like ride mechanism and track and whatever. And you get to design your own car and stuff, right?
I think so. I believe so.
And Test Track has that same thing where you get to design your car and then race and see like whose car is better, essentially.
Right.
But
no. Sorry, there's no design part, but they just have two different tracks.
Yeah. Okay. But you're racing. But I've heard that like we haven't actually never done Test Track. It's closed now for like a major refurbishment, but the reason, which it needs, because the reason we've never ridden it is because it's always super long lines and people keep saying like it's not that great. It's not a great ride. Like they think that like their kids would enjoy it because it's like, oh yeah, you're racing a car because you don't get to drive, but they're like, we drive faster on our way to Disney than we do on the ride, which I think
We're gonna be late. We have to make the rope drop.
Yeah, which I think is fair, but I have heard that like Radiator Springs Racers is amazing. So I think the theming is a huge aspect of why like even though it's a similar like ride, it's so much better.
Oh, that's cool. Speaking of theming, my second option, the go-to ride, like you cannot go to Walt Disney World or Orlando, Florida, in my opinion, without riding this ride. It's one that you just mentioned. It's Star Wars Rise of the Resistance, 100%. Talking about theming, that world takes it to another level.
Yeah.
Like you are walking and legit, you are in some sort of like Star Wars universe, Star Wars planet. You are
Planet of Batu, but okay.
Yeah, exactly. But like for someone who's like a fan, but like it does not know all of the like the intricate details of all of the small like things, walking in to the Star Wars land, man, it is insane. From the restaurants, from the places where you can buy things. And then even just the rides that they have, they have Millennial, what's it called? Falcon's Run?
Millennium Falcon, Smuggler's Run.
Smuggler's Run, right. Yeah. So they have that ride. and they have like, droids around, and they have like, characters walking around that you can meet. I think we saw Boba Fett walking, and we also saw Kylo Ren walking when we went. But for me, it's the ride on its own, from the technology that's kind of like you're in a pod of 6, and this pod is then moving you through this entire ride. It's so cool because it's all magnetized, so it's not an actual like track.
Yeah.
And so it's like you don't have an expectation of what's going to happen next. You don't know. It's all ground. And so, I mean, all like flat land. And then you're just kind of being taken from one place to the next. And so for me, the story of like, oh, like, you're just on a plane and you see Poe on the screen. And you're like, okay, cool. We're part of the resistance. All of a sudden, you got these stormtroopers coming on board, taking you. You're seeing, a bunch of these stormtroopers.
The army of stormtroopers is crazy.
It's insane. The set, I was breathless.
Yeah.
Walking through.
And it's crazy that that's like pretty much the pre-show.
Yeah. And then they're rude to you. The workers there, the
cast
staff.
members. Yeah, the cast members like make it.
They're rude to you because they have to be, because they're the enemy side. And then, you get busted out, which is really also a cool, like, theatrical, take, where one of the walls kind of like explodes and then you're able to escape. And then that's when you get into the pod. And the pod, you're seeing, gosh, I don't even know the names of all these things.
I mean, the animatronics are really cool. You see Finn, you see Kylo Ren, and what's his guy, his redhead guy?
I don't know.
I don't want to say the wrong name, but like, yeah.
I think his name's like Hux or something. But like,
officer.
Yeah, but you see them having a conversation, and it's like, it feels really real. Like, you're like, oh, I'm like intruding on their conversation as they're talking. And then all of a sudden they turn around, they see you, and you're like, ah, and then the car moves, and it's insane the way that the ride moves, because it's similar to Guardians. You have no expectation of the track.
Yeah.
And as someone who, I'm the opposite of you, Ambrose, because I know you said that you prefer the original Star Wars movies, and that's why you don't love the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge
I'm teasing,
as much.
Continue.
Yeah, but for me, as someone who, I watched it just recently, I watched it just before our last trip, and I was not a big fan. I really, really, really thought the original movies were so boring and so slow, and there was like zero character development.
No, I can understand that.
Yeah, just because I'm like
pace.
coming from a modern perspective, because I didn't grow up with these movies. And so I actually really liked the newer movies. Like, those were my favorites. So I was like, oh yeah, like I want to see Kylo Ren. Like, this is exciting. So I loved that they took it that route.
I still choose Darth Vader, but regardless, it's cool. Actually, another thing that stood out to me about that ride is Rey. And she kind of appears in this like hologram type thing in the pre-show.
Oh, yeah.
And so that's just, it's so cool seeing the technology that they've introduced. And yeah, so it's overall, like, it was a debate between the two. Not for thrill, because for thrill, Cosmic Rewind still wins. But when you encompass everything, I think this is a very close second for me.
Okay.
For Rise Resistance, the element of danger is such a huge thing, which I really enjoy. Like, they're coming after you. Like,
Kylo Ren. Yeah.
When he comes after you and then closes, or even when you see the lightsaber kind of like cut, like, I think it's really good. And the whole war going on, like the space battle.
Yeah.
And the cannons. I think that's like theming, like you guys said, phenomenal.
Yeah.
I disagree with you, Dora, about whether the new ones are better, but
That's okay. We'll agree to disagree.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
One of the things about that ride, sorry, unless you guys cut me off, I'm gonna keep going. The details. I've ridden that ride now a few times. I think like 4, 5, 6, like a bunch of times, and every single time I go on that ride, I pay attention to some new detail. A new stormtrooper who I didn't notice last time who's shooting at you, or a new resistance person in the background doing something that you're like, oh, I'm in the ride and I didn't notice that, and like kind of looking at different angles of the ride. They didn't just take into account where everyone most likely would be looking. They took into account every single aspect of where anyone could be looking while on the ride. And for me, it's like detail, attention to detail.
Yeah.
W.
And it's not like a super, like, it's not, the height requirement isn't that crazy. It's only 40 inches. So like kids can ride if you have a taller kid. Arabella did ride it the first time. She was not into Star Wars that time, and she freaked out because she was scared of the stormtroopers and some of the, like, you know, the cast members who were being a little bit more rude to the guests there. But, that was just her experience. But I mean, it is something, if you're character, so. Yeah, they were in character. But if you're somebody who, like, if you have a kid who is into Star Wars, which there are a lot, like, absolutely bring them with you, because 40 inches is not like super tall.
Yeah.
Okay, my number 2. So again, I looked at it as like, what is a ride that like I really like, I must do, and I love riding, and has a little bit of that nostalgia factor for me. And this time at Hollywood Studios. So the ride is Toy Story Mania. Yeah. And nice. I think like this one, because I love Toy Story. Like, it wasn't my favorite growing up, but it's still something that like pulls at my heartstrings as like, because I grew up with it. So I do love it. And I love the aspect of the shooter style. Like, you're competing. I like that it's like a little bit 3D, but it's not like the type of 3D that makes you feel like dizzy or sick. Yeah. Because it's not moving like in crazy ways. I like that it turns you around to like face the different screens. Just the style of like the shooter like element. It's kind of almost like a slingshot type thing that you're shooting, right? Yeah. Instead of the gun. I just felt like, as somebody who like has always sucked at like laser tag and like all those laser shooting games, I hated that aspect of like Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger spin, because I was like, oh, I have bad aim. I'm not doing well. But doing Toy Story Mania, I'm like, I actually have a fighting chance at winning. So I really enjoy, like, that ride it's a must do for me. I love that ride. Yeah,
kids love that ride too. Like, our kids loved, even just like, it's one where, so I've taken a 1-year-old on that ride before. I've taken a 6-year-old on that ride before, and all age groups, like they genuinely enjoy it. My 1-year-old kind of just enjoyed seeing all of the graphics, the characters. My 3-year-old enjoyed actually trying to play a little bit. My 6-year-old had the time of her life, just going, yeah, I'm gonna beat you, Dad, and just trying to get as many shots off and actually I really like that ride more than in Magic Kingdom, Buzz Lightyear's
Space Ranger Spin.
Is that what it's called? Space Ranger Spin. Mainly because that one's a little bit more static because of what you're shooting with, but because Toy Story Mania has a little bit more of the screens and the digital aspect to it, they're able to get really creative with what you're actually shooting. And so screen to screen, it changes and it gets creative. And then at one point you're shooting some sort of like, toy, what is it, frisbees or something like that? And then
it's like a ring toss type thing. And then you have like darts, like darts at the balloon. Like dishes and stuff. Yes. Dishes, the pies. Like, there's like a whole bunch of...
And that's fun.
Yeah.
Especially when you're in Toy Story World, Toy Story Land. It's So, that's a good one.
Yeah, number 2. Okay, Ambrose, you're up.
Like, I think that's such a good ride, because it gives you breaks too in between, like every single game, right? Toy Story Mania, like you're able to take a moment, and it's also better than, you also don't control the little car. Remember when I was doing the Buzz Lightyear, right? And my wife was having fun, and she was spinning the thing back and forth. And I started getting nauseous. I'm like, what are you doing? Right? Okay, so for me, next one I would choose. Okay, this might be a bit more controversial, because I don't know if some people like this ride or not. But this is one of the ones where I went to, I think it was, it was just a ride that I really, really enjoyed. Okay. And this was the Matterhorn ride in, not the best, but like this is one one's up there for me. It's just I really enjoyed the Matterhorn ride. That's one with the bobsleds. You guys?
I've been on that one. I actually do remember
Matterhorn
that one.
In Disneyland.
Yeah,
California.
So kind of like, I don't know. It's almost like Space Mountain and like Everest, and if you like combine, like fused the two, I would say.
Okay, so it's a dark ride.
At
The
some
Space
points,
Mountains-
but you're
At some
basically
points.
go-
Yeah.
yeah, you're basically like going on a bobsled, going through the up the Matterhorn, coming down, and there's moments where, there's moments where
there's
the
Yeti?
Yeti is gonna come and attack you,
Okay.
Yeah.
and I think it's just like it's really fun. You see the Yeti, you hear him. It's like I don't know, maybe I like rides with a sense of like danger. Somebody's chasing after you. I don't know.
Yeah.
But like it's really fun, and I was like, oh my goodness, the Yeti! And I was telling like me and Viv were on it together. I was like, oh look, the Yeti! And then I think Viv has this thing where when she goes on something, maybe it's like if it's scary or whatnot, she has a tunnel vision.
Okay.
And I was like, after the ride, I'm like, that was amazing. I enjoyed that ride so much. Did you see the Yeti? It was coming after it. She was like, what Yeti? And I'm just like, wait, what? How? Like,
Oh, man.
so I really enjoyed that ride. I just like the design of the Yeti. It's also kind of like, it's like a call out to old school like Disney with the Yeti. And yeah, no, I just really enjoyed that ride. I think that's up there for me too.
Yeah.
It's not the most like technological advance compared to some other ones, but it's just a really good ride in my opinion.
I do remember like, so that one I remember from when I went in high school. And at the time it was one of the most thrilling rides that Disneyland had. So as like a teenager, I'm like, I have to ride this. And it was my favorite coming out of it. Cause I was like, this was such a fun ride. I do remember that it was like quite kind of bumpy. And I hear a lot of people complain about that like, it's not the smoothest ride. It is like, it is older. But it was fun. And that's actually like it's very similar to like one of the ones on my list, which is Expedition Everest.
Yeah, that one's a good one.
Expedition Everest is very similar where it's like you're going up a mountain and then there's a Yeti and the Yeti's trying to attack you.
That was
one
scary.
Yeah,
I mean, for me, I'm not a roller coaster guy.
Yeah, but okay, so things that I love about that ride. It's very smooth.
Yeah.
I like the like the way that the track runs. It's very unexpected. Even though you see the track, there are parts of it, and I won't spoil it for people who haven't ridden it, but there are parts of it that you don't expect.
Yeah.
So you're like,
why can't we spoil it? That's the best part. That's the best part. Let's
But
spoil
I watched
it.
videos, so that's-
Yeah, I was about to say.
but it's there's parts that you can't
The track
don't
changes.
expect.
I'm going to ruin it. The track changes.
Yeah.
You ride it, you see a Yeti, all of a sudden you're going backwards, and the track has moved.
Okay, so he fully just.
100%. And it's insane because you don't think of that. Like when you
Yeah.
think of a hard roller coaster track ride, you don't think it's gonna change on you, but it changes.
You see, like, because it looks like the Yeti's broken the track at the top. So you're going up and you see the way that the track is broken. You're like, crap, what's gonna happen next? And you go backwards, but then still you're like, where am I gonna go? And then it turns and it kind of goes down the other way. So it is very unexpected. I really enjoyed it. I feel like that was like the maximum level of thrill that I experienced really on like a ride at Disney. And I was like, it was thrilling and it was exciting and it had that aspect of danger, but it didn't feel too thrilling. Like I wasn't like, oh my gosh, I'm so terrified. I can't ride this again. And I remember coming off of it because we ran on like 5 minutes before the park closed.
The Animal Kingdom was closing at I think 6, and we were there at like 5:45, and we just quickly got on.
Yeah, but we had to do rider swap because we had the 2 younger kids. So I ran in with Arabella and I like rode it, and we came out so fast. And
They were out in 10 minutes,
But
including line time.
Yeah, and then I rushed over and I was like, "Hey, run on! You have 5 minutes left to get in line."
I didn't think I was going on. I was actually sitting there eating an ice cream with the other 2, and then she was like, "Go, go, go! It's still time." I'm like, "What? Okay." And then I don't even get to see the line, so we need to go back so that I can actually like observe the line this time because we just ran through the line, zigzag,
What happened to the
zigzag.
ice cream? Did you end up taking?
I think I
the
gave it.
The kids
to
ate
her.
it.
Okay.
The kids ate it. It was gone by the time he came back.
And then I actually got on the ride, and I had no time to be scared. I had no time to think about how scary this was, and then I was on it. I'm like, damn, all right, here we go. Yeah, we here now. And then it was fun. Arabella loved it. She enjoyed herself. And yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, I really I thought that one was a lot of fun. And I thought it was really like interesting the way that the line kind of ebbed and flowed for like the wait times ebbed and flowed for the rest of the day, because it didn't really have like massive wait times. It was just like I'm looking at it right now. It's 10 minutes right now. If somebody is at Disney right now, they can be
What are we
on.
doing here? Let's get out of here.
Why are we here in cold Toronto? Like, let's just go down.
Yeah.
I'm down to going right now.
Let's go.
But yeah, it was a really good ride.
So that one, last note, that one was actually in my honorable mentions only because I feel like that one doesn't get, like, I didn't care about that ride. And nobody really talked about that ride. But only when I went on that ride, because one, it's an Animal Kingdom. And Animal Kingdom's kind of like the last park I think people will kind of go to. People will choose Magic first. They will choose Hollywood Studios next. They will choose Epcot if they're more of an adult party going. Animal Kingdom kind of gets like, lost unless somebody has, kids that really love animals a little bit more. And so maybe that's like their take. But like for me going on that ride, that was like a really, really, really fun ride. Like I would have, to be honest, I would have ridden that ride before I rode Navi River Journey, which is like the big ride. That
Navi
along
River
with,
Journey?
yeah.
That's not a big ride.
No, that's
Rite of
like
Passage.
no Flight of Passage, yes, but then Navi River Journey always gets a massive line.
Yeah.
It like I don't mean like it's a big thrill ride. I mean like it's a big long wait ride. Lots of people want to get on that because it's a newer, dark. What is it, like a dark ride almost? Like dark boat ride. So anyhow, for me that wasn't an honorable mention because I actually really enjoyed it. And the
Hot take.
Yeah.
That's the best ride at Animal Kingdom.
Yeah, that's a hot take. That
I like it better than Flight of Passage. Like
that's a
I would
hot take.
if you told me like you're going into Animal Kingdom, and this is why I put it on my list. Because I'm like, if I had to pick one at Animal Kingdom, which would it be? And it would be like Expedition Everest.
Over Flight of
Passage.
I have one
every single time.
I have one over Flight of Passage and Expedition Everest, but I'll leave that for later.
Kingdom?
At Animal Kingdom. I'll leave that for later. Alrighty, you're next, Ambrose.
Wait, don't let me stop you. You guys are going off right now. I think for me, another one I would choose. I guess I would. Put them together. It's the Indiana Jones rides. Indiana Jones rides from Disneyland and Disney to Disney Sea, right?
Yeah.
I think those rides are so good because one thing, nostalgia. I loved Indiana Jones growing up.
Yes.
It was just amazing. And then when you really get into it, like it's so good because I don't think Viv has ever watched any of the Indiana Jones ride. I don't think she'll ever watch it because she is terrified of scary movies.
It's fair.
Maybe on my birthday we can watch it. I don't know. but like, I think it's just the aspect of it's just so cool, and also the design of after watching the Imagineer story, you get to watch that, right?
I've watched up until Shia LaBeouf. That was the last one I watched. I don't know which one that is.
No, he's not talking about
the
the movies.
Disney Plus Imagineer story.
Oh no, I haven't watched that. No.
I
I thought you were talking
haven't
about the Indiana Jones
You guys
movies.
gotta watch it. It's so good. It like talks about how the park is made and everything. It's actually phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So the Indiana Jones ride is so good because you get put into the world once again. There's different little cool things of like, for example, at one point the Jeep is driving through. Spoiler, sorry. At one point the Jeep is driving someplace and there's a lot of arrows flying at you, but it's not real arrows, but it's like the sound effect and then air. And me and my sister were like, "Oh my goodness!" and pretending to dodge it. It was so fun, and even the theming as you're going through, it's like an old archaeological dig site, but then you get into what was it? There's a lot of different ones. Like the cursed eye, the cursed mask. I don't know. I might have got that wrong, but like there's a lot of different theming. So you're in these like old ruins of these temples and everything. It's so cool. So I think that one's a really big one for me. It hits nostalgia. Also, it's a great ride.
It's thrilling too.
Sorry?
It's thrilling too.
Thrilling. Maybe I like thrill rides a bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
But those are like great rides because I think I'm in between both of you guys, kind of. Well,
Yeah, you want the nostalgia factor like I do, but you want the thrills like Ruben does.
yeah.
I wouldn't even
Because
say I'm a big thrill
I can
guy.
handle really like intense rides as well. Like even in Canada's
Right.
Wonderland,
That's
I'm able
crazy.
to handle all rides. But
When we go to Disney together, you need to take Arabella because she is a thrill monkey. She wants to go on everything that goes upside down and turn her around. Like, so you take her and you can go have that. Me and Viv will go grab some coffee and we'll chill.
for sure, because Viv, like, because we went on the Incredicoaster in Disneyland, and she was like, "I'm good, you go ahead." And then
Oh,
yeah, so then she was there and she took photos of me, like,
that's
going
funny.
like through the thing, and that's the fastest ever line I've actually been on Incredicoaster.
Yeah.
It's because I went on the single riders line, so there's like
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I was-
yeah.
like she was surprised I was on the ride. She's like, "Already?" I wasn't. Like, she told me she didn't have her phone out, and then
So those
So
two,
Indiana
Indiana Jones
Jones.
is in Disneyland and then Disney Sea Tokyo.
Tokyo Disney Sea.
Okay, so like that's the one thing when I went to Disney World, that's the one thing it's missing. Like, why is there no Indiana?
Spoiler alert! You keep saying things are missing, and then guess what? Disney
What?
knows already, and it's coming.
They're doing an Indiana Jones ride?
Coming. Yeah. So, Dinosaur and Indiana Jones have the same ride track, the same ride technology, same track,
What's
same
Dinosaur?
everything.
What's that?
Dinosaur, which is at Animal Kingdom.
Oh, okay, we haven't read that.
So, Dinosaur is closing at the end of this year.
Yeah, I knew that whole park's going.
And it's going to be completely, that whole area, Dino Land, is
Mm-hmm.
being turned into Tropical Americas, which is going to include Indiana Jones. And so they're going to be redoing
Mm-hmm.
Dinosaur, refurbishing it to be Indiana Jones.
Wait, wasn't it supposed to be something like Moana?
No.
Encanto.
So there's going to be some Encanto stuff
Encanto
too.
stuff, okay.
Yeah, and we'll
Within
get
that area, yeah. But then they're doing Indiana Jones there.
yeah, we'll get more into it next time. But that one is coming. So they like Disney knows.
So that's a ride? Like, it's not
Yeah.
gonna be like a boring ride. It's gonna be like a good ride. Don't just tell
Yeah.
me you're retheming something.
Well, they're retheming Dinosaur, but it's that's
But
how
Dinosaur
it
is a good ride.
Yeah, and also
That-
Indiana Jones in Disneyland is using that same
Is
track
the
anyway.
same track?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean that's nice. That's the one thing I was gonna say before I guess updated me. Like I was just gonna say, like Indiana Jones. The only thing they have is in Hollywood studios they have the show, which is fantastic, right? Which when we talk about shows and experiences, we gotta come to that. But that's kind of cool to hear that they have that in Disneyland and
Yeah.
Tokyo Disney Sea.
Okay, what's yours?
My next one is a little bit out of pocket. Minnie and Mickey's Runaway Railway.
Not out of pocket. That ride
That
is worthy.
one,
That ride's
nothing
great.
can stop us now. I don't know how. I'm gonna make it happen. Sorry. We like our kids, and we have to.
That was so good. That was actually really, really good.
We have to sing it. My daughter will just randomly break out into that, and it's because the ride is just fun. It's one of those like cart rides again where you're sitting in like a 6-person buggy. It has that new magnet technology.
trackless technology, yeah.
It's trackless and runs on magnetism, and then the creativity with the soundtracks, and then you're just using your like.
And the story is so like goofy, is so
Yes.
quintessentially goofy, and he just does the most classic goofy thing, and then
Yeah.
you're like, oh, he broke the train and he burst through the screen, and there you
Yeah.
go, and you enter the like now you're part of the cartoon.
Yeah.
And like our kids will not stop. Every time they see it, they're like, ah, silly Goofy, he's so silly, he broke the train, and they love it. And it's like, I get it, because as an adult, I love it. I'm like, this
Yeah.
is so cute. It's such a, I think that's what it is. It's fun, but it's a cute ride.
Yes. I love that one. So that's number 3 for me.
Not out of pocket. That ride is worthy. That would have been like easily in my top 3 had I not known that you were gonna select it.
What's yours?
Honestly, the only thing I have against that is they've destroyed my boy Goofy, because he was one of my favorites growing up. He looks so different than
He does.
What he
Yeah.
used to be,
He looks
right?
sickly almost.
yeah.
I don't love the new animation style, and I don't love one of the things I don't love about that ride is the new animatronic style where it's like the faces are projected, because they don't look as real as like when like let's say like Daisy actually has a beak, but instead now she doesn't have a beak, it's just projected on her face, right? So
I
I
don't
don't love the new animation style.
Cool.
Yeah.
What's your third one?
I did my third one. My third one was Expedition Everest.
Oh.
Do you want to do number 4?
Wait, you did your third before me?
Yeah, because he did Matterhorn and it was related. So.
Ah. Okay, so then my third one, my fourth one, I had a it was a bit of a tosser. Really. I
Nice.
Wrong fandom.
I'm wearing this shirt for it though. No. Okay, but another bit of an out of pocket one. There's a theme. I love these new rides. Remy's Ratatouille ride. You guys
Ooh.
have you guys seen that one?
Yeah.
That
I've seen a lot of videos, yeah.
That one is like, I love the IP for Ratatouille.
Ratatouille
I actually
is
like
so
that
good.
movie. I think it's fun. And then I didn't know what to expect when I first went on that ride. And then when I went on that ride, I was like, yo, this is cool. We're literally the size of a mouse, and we are getting to experience what, Remy would have experienced. And it's just a fun ride, and it's a creative ride, and the graphics are great. And so overall, like, I go to Epcot, like, have to go to Cosmic Rewind, but immediately after, like, I want to hit a Remy, because that's a fun one. Also, like, sidebar, you're also the line is indoors, and so the nice thing is that in the hot Florida heat, you're getting the cool AC inside, which is nice. So
That's
like,
one where it takes you through like almost like Paris, right? When
Yes.
you,
you fall down, just like how he falls down the window, and then you're running along the kitchen, and then you get into the pantry, basically all of that.
Yeah. The way that it's themed too, it has this like, you start off like normal, like adult sized, and then they like make the tiles bigger so that you look like you feel like you're getting smaller, and they make everything look bigger, and then when you come out, you like everything shrinks back down, and then you're like full grown again. So you feel like you're actually like mouse sized, which is really, really cool.
Yeah, I didn't know that until you told me about that. That was really cool. That's, again, detail.
Yeah.
Wait, Dora, are you kind of like me towards Viv? I'm like explaining a lot of Disney things when we're going to the park. I'm like, oh, look over there, that thing, this and this. Right?
Yeah.
Same thing?
Yes.
Oh, 100%. I'm like, well, there's a lot that I grew up like experiencing, because I've been to like these parks before. But also, I'm somebody who's like, I want all the spoilers. I want to know everything. So I'm watching the rides like POV. I'm like Googling all the things about like reservations and like multi-lane, like lightning lane multi-pass and all those different things, because I want to know and I want to be like fully prepared. And so I walk in and I'm like, this is what we're doing. This is what we're doing. This is what we're eating. This is where we're, and then he's just like, okay. And he walks along. He's like, oh, this is so good.
Yeah, that's 100%.
Typical Disney dad kind of
Like,
thing.
hey man, yes.
Not actually though, because he loves it. Like there's the dads who are like, I hate being here and this is just expensive.
No, I love it.
But he's like, no, I love this.
It's so much fun.
Okay, my number 4. Go ahead, Ambrose.
I was gonna say in Paris, for them, I forgot which one it is. So maybe it's Walt Disney Studio. It might be that one. Basically, as you end the Ratatouille ride, you go into like a restaurant.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's cool.
I think it's the name of the restaurant that the Ratatouille, like Remy's restaurant.
Oh, the Stoves? Nice.
Yeah.
No, so here they have a restaurant, but it's like maybe 20 meters away. Like you got to walk to it. You just end and you walk out. It's kind of a lackluster ending in Disney World.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I think every Disney park kind of had, or like not Disney park, but every like in Walt Disney World and Disneyland and in like Tokyo and all these different, and Paris, they have similar experiences where like there is a ride that kind of goes through a restaurant, and like the restaurant can kind of view the riders. At Walt Disney World, that's at Small World, because Small World, like there's a restaurant right above it and you can see the ride. But that's not the best ride, and it's not the best restaurant, so I don't know who's trying to go there to watch these riders.
do you guys have a 5th? Or Ambrose, did you share your 4th option yet?
I didn't share my 4th, which is kind of related to yours.
Oh.
Because you were like, go to Epcot, hit up Guardians, hit up Remy. My 4th is Soarin' Around the World.
Soarin'.
Go to Epcot, go to the Land Pavilion, and hit up Soarin' Around the World, which I love that ride. It is so like, I don't even know.
It's a mom ride. That's what it is.
Fine, but it's fun, and I'm a mom, and I have no shame in that. It is okay. It gives you that experience of like, I am traveling the world and I'm seeing all these like classic like icons, like world icons that you don't get to have every day, and they make you feel like you're really flying, and they make you feel like you're flying over these places because they literally infuse and like pump out like scents and smells so that you feel like you're there. Like, I will never forget, as we were riding it for the first time with Arabella, her and I are like, I knew that they were going to be doing this with the smells. So her and I were like intentionally paying attention to like the different smells. And I'm like, do you smell the rainforest? And she's like, yeah. And then we like flew over the Taj Mahal, and like, because she's half Indian, I'm like, oh, what does it smell like here in India? And she's like, it smells like flowers. I'm like, yeah, it smells like rose petals. And like, we just, the whole time we were like trying to kind of catch those smells, and it's so cool. And
Yeah.
I love the Eiffel Tower with like the sparkly lights. I love that they chose like a nighttime scene for the Eiffel Tower. It's a place that I love in real life. So soaring around the world, you have to do it.
Yeah, it's a chill ride. You sit, you just float around.
Chill, but it's not like kid friendly. Like you have to be 40 inches or
Yeah.
taller. So yeah.
Remember when we went to it in DCA, right? And it was a phenomenal ride, great. And then I remember trying to put on the seatbelt. It wouldn't work, and I'm so confused. And then I was trying to put it on, like, it's not fitting. And then the worker comes by and he's like, you're not a little rider. And I was trying to put on the little kid seatbelt part. And then Vivian started dying of laughter, and the person started of laughter, and then I was like, yeah. And then it's really funny because we were also going on the ride, right? And Viv was like, oh, you smell that? It smells like the grass. And then you hear the gentleman in front beside her tell her, like, oh, it smells like grass. And like, oh, this part smells like, oh. And then you kept repeating the thing. It was really cute. It was a great ride.
That's
and it's
cute.
just like really, and then not to mention, I forgot the actor's name, but I love the pre-show.
Yeah.
What is his name?
I don't remember his name, but it's the guy who plays Kronk.
Yes. And also he was Lemony Snicket's. But yeah, as well. Yeah, yeah. No, I really enjoyed this. I remember wanting to go onto it in Tokyo Disney Sea. However, because it was a newer ride, the lines were insane. Like, we're gonna have maybe we'll have a whole nother conversation about different parks outside of
The
United
US.
States. But like, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Okay.
What's your fourth?
Ambrose's fourth, and I think our last one for the day.
Okay.
I was gonna say, could we do one that we dislike, like don't
Okay,
like at all?
share the one that you like, and then maybe we'll do one that we don't like.
All right. Okay. I think for me, I really enjoyed in Tokyo Disney Sea is I think it was the Nemo and Friends Sea Rider,
Oh.
and so basically I think it's from the same institute from Finding Dory. I forgot the name of it. It's
Okay.
called I was looking up it earlier. I think it's the I don't know. It's a Marine something institution.
Okay.
It's the same one
Okay.
with Sigourney Weaver talking, right? That's where Hank is from.
Okay.
So basically, it's this. So I was gonna. It's kind of close to like Remy's
Oh yeah.
Finding. Yeah. So Remy's
Ratatouille,
ride,
yeah.
right? So you're going in, but it's not the same. It's not trackless. You kind of go in and you get this opening show with this girl, and you're in like a Marine institution, and she's like, "Everyone, look at the screens. It's all Japanese." You kind of figure what they're talking about. Later, I watched a video and they explain exactly. But they basically designed this like new system where they can shrink everyone as you enter this big like ship, shrink everyone to the size of the fish, and you go through the experience of all. So you can learn more about fish, right? So then you see, oh, that's cool, and then you see like a little thing where like literally, like the entrance is kind of like an institution. Everything is so cool, like museum, biology. There's like even little aquariums, and you go on the ride. And then the ride is basically almost, I don't know if there's equivalent for, I'm trying to think for one for Disneyland or Disney World. But basically it's one where like there's a lot of seats.
Okay.
Almost like a little bit of a theater.
Oh.
And then the whole thing goes, whoo, and then you see like everything shrink and you become a little fish. And then you're going through everything.
That's so
And
cute.
then once you hit like a certain part, water will spray on you. And you get the whole experience. You get the smells and everything as well.
Yeah, that's
It's
cool.
like a 4D coaster.
Oh.
So I really enjoyed that because once again, I guess I'm really a big sucker for nostalgia. You're put into the world, you get shrunk down, you see your basic friends and everything from Finding Nemo and everything, and it's so good. I think I really enjoyed that one. Not to mention that Tokyo Disney Sea has so many good rides. There's like 2,000 Leagues Under the Sea, Journey to the Earth, Raging Rivers, all these.
I'm surprised you didn't mention any of these other ones, bro.
I'm just talking about like those are thrill. I don't know.
Their nostalgia and thrill meet together for you, right? Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I heard about
like,
Journey. I heard Journey is a really good ride.
Oh, it's oh man, I really wish I said that now, but it's really good.
Okay.
It's like a slow ride, but then we'll talk more about it later.
Why don't we share like one that we don't love?
Okay.
Because and you started it, so why don't you start? Like
Yeah,
which one? Which
sure.
one?
Okay. All right. I'll give you. I'll do 1.5. Okay. One of them, firstly, is Autotopia. I hate it because
I don't know what
got
that
on.
is.
You ever been on Autotopia? No.
No.
It's basically doing the. Have you ever seen the little rides where basically it's the car that Walt Disney drove through the park when he was designing the park. It's this little ride, and it's like pretty much a little like what's it called? Those go-karts almost. You're driving through, and you get the smell of just like gas or like gasoline or whatever exhaust, right? And then the ride was really slow for everyone to get off. So I literally, me and Viv were in the car for like literally like, I don't know if anyone else has experienced this, but we were in the waiting line to get off the ride for a good like 10 minutes. And the whole time, all you smell is just car exhaust.
Yeah.
To the point where we're like, I can't handle this. This is so bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
yeah,
then
yeah,
that
yeah.
was one of the worst. But
Yeah.
the worst ever experience. Are you ready for this? Okay.
Yeah.
Was in Disney. I think it was. I think it's exact. Which one it is? Okay, it is Disneyland, I believe.
Okay.
What was the ride?
Wait. I don't exactly know what it is. Okay, let me figure out right now, really quick. Okay, it is Operation. Or it might be DCA. I think it's DCA. I'm not sure. But sorry for everyone who is a true fan. I messed up this thing, but basically it is Operation Breakout.
Okay.
It is the retheming, and just basically the refurbish or whatever of
Tower of Terror.
Twilight
Tower of Terror into Guardians.
into Guardians.
Oh
Mission
yeah,
Breakout.
yeah. I heard that one's not great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I heard that. Yeah, that's fair.
The pre-show is phenomenal because you go in, it's the collector's house. All the stuff is really cool and everything.
Yeah.
And you see like Cosmo sitting there in a little thing.
Yeah.
Awesome, right?
Yeah.
But you go in, and I never, because I'm normally a person that's okay with drop rides.
Yeah.
Like in Canada's Wonderland, great, loved it, I'm okay.
Yeah.
But I was so excited to go in. You raise your hand. It's the whole thing. It was really great. But the moment you get it, I'm like, yeah, let's do this. Once again, Viv did not come with me because she's afraid of these rides. So she's like, you're on your own. I tried to force her. I was like, yo, come. It'll be a great experience. We have a fast pass. Let's go. Genie Plus. Let's go.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm okay. And then I was like, which, thank God that she didn't go because she would have died too. But so you go in, you go first ride down. You're like, yeah, the first drop. You're so excited. Yes.
Yeah.
And then the moment, and it doesn't stop. Because normally you're after the normal rides, you drop first drop, and you're like, yeah, I'm done. Woo. But then it shoots you straight back up. And I'm like, oh no. And we're going up and down, and then like it opens for a few seconds or so.
Yeah.
For the little screens, and you see the stuff and everything.
Wow.
So it's essentially going up and down on the ride nonstop, right?
Wow.
And I kid you not, I got so nauseous, and it was just not a great experience. And it's really funny because you see the videos.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the very end, when you get off the ride, you see like people, like everything, right?
Yeah.
And all you see is my face because I got so nauseous that always like, here, I'll make it. If anyone's watching on YouTube, you can see my face literally was like, I was about to barf, and that's like everyone's like so fun. And then after we got off the ride, I was like, you ever see people who get really nauseous? They're like stumbling and holding the side of the wall. That was legit me.
Yeah. So for me, mine, I can't do rides like that. Like I will skip it like Viv. For me, the one that I think I wish Dora was here. She had to run to a thing. It's I have to Google the name. It's basically the ride where it's like a show, but we're sitting in a theater and we're basically just watching the evolution of time. So boring. Oh my goodness.
Is it the People Mover?
No, not the People Mover. That's kind of like the subway type system. Anyhow, I have a backup other one that I don't love. It's also in Magic Kingdom. It's a small world. I think that ride the song is so creepy and weird. And it's a boat ride and you smell the boat water that like is better somehow in Pirates, but not great here. Only bonus is it's a little bit cooler. So like, when you're in the heat, sure, it's like a get out type thing, but otherwise, I don't love it. I'm not the biggest fan.
You've offended so many people, the diehard fans.
It's fine. Hey, to each their own. It's fine. So yeah, no, for me that's probably the one. I don't know what doors would be. I think she'll have to tell us the next time we run a podcast. But I think unless you have honorable mentions, I mean, I think that's all we have for today. Eh?
Well, I have a lot more mentions, but I guess we can do it for another time. We can do park by park and thrill ride versus dark ride, and like experiences, because there's a lot of great Disney experiences I think we've all experienced, and like
to be honest, some of the experiences are like, I think that like they're half the like I don't even go for the rides. Like you know, if I would just quickly mention one, Monsters Inc., the comedy club.
Ooh, yeah.
Like, to be honest, in all of Magic Kingdom, that's probably the one of the top 3 things I want to do there. But my kids. So if you have kids, anyone who's listening, Frozen Ever After in Epcot is like a showstopper. A 2-hour wait, normal. And I actually love that ride because it actually has a bit of a unique take in the ride, and it's cooler because it's Frozen. And so, yeah, if Arabella was here or Mila was here, I've asked them, what's your favorite ride? What's the one ride? If we could only do one ride when we go to Disney World, what ride would it be? They immediately choose Frozen, which, yeah, so that's all I had, man.
You know me, Ruben. I can go on for hours and hours, but I think this is all the time we have for today.
Yeah.
All right.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. Whoever is listening, if you've gotten this far, you're a true fan. Let us know in the comments what you want us to talk about next. Actually, honestly, we don't get many comments, so if you comment, we'll probably shout you out and talk about whatever you mentioned down there. So and then I think we're going to be talking about.
Tell us your favorite ride as well. We want to know.
Yeah.
And you can find us on Instagram, but then we're going to look at Instagram, YouTube, and also Spotify. We're there.
Yeah.
If you want to keep watching more episodes every single Wednesday, hopefully every single Wednesday. And feel free to come join us. A couple of average people, regular people who love Disney, who love to talk about Disney, who love rides, and just love adventure.
All right. Have a good one, guys.
See you guys. See you next time.
Bye.